Howdy everybody, I am Kolik and this is Summer's War. Welcome back to part 4 of the Rune Optimizer. Today we're talking about how to use grindstones and enchants so that you can basically make the best rune that you possibly can. If you can't, there's kind of two schools of thought on this, and so I'm going to go into each and tell you the pros and cons of both. The first is that I want to buff up the runes that are already on my monsters. This is great. Obviously, once you do an FRR, probably your best runes are going to be on your monsters, especially if you've done some of the things that I will be getting to very shortly in this video. However, you are still farming new runes, okay? And these may be better than the ones that you're currently using. And it can be hard to evaluate which one is typically better. Okay? So, this is talk about which way you want to do it. Now, one way you want to do it, if you want to, and I have done it, is to go through all the monsters you commonly use and write down every grindstone that you need on every monster. This is great. You can look at the things and you can evaluate which monster is best and needs those grindstones. This is a great way to go ahead and get all those initial runes and stuff that you're using grinded up. Unfortunately, what you're going to end up with is a page or something like this. Here's your will, maybe here's fatal, rage, nemesis, okay, blade, and then violent is going to be the entire page. Alright, so you're going to grind up your fatals and your rages and your focus and your other things, and then you'll be fill it very quickly once you actually have it equipped, because you need a lot of violence. Okay, you need a lot, and there's no getting around that you can use a lot, which means you need to maximize the ones that you do have, obviously, but also you want to maximize the runes that you don't have equipped. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about here is I have recently got a couple grindstones. Okay, actually I got a couple gems, and they're focused. So in the second tab here, okay, it gives you this nice rune sorting mechanism. Shows you all your runes. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, I know I have a focus enchant. I'm going to go ahead and click it. Alright. So let's see. One of the ones I got is a speed. It's a purple speed. So what I want synced with speed? Well, the most important thing to me synced on speed is, let's see if I have an attack stat. Alright. And I want attack stat, and with attack I want crit rate. Alright, so now it says I have only 4 runes that are attack and crit rate. Now the first one I have selected down here already has speed grinded on it, so I don't need to do it. Now notice this little circle thing right here that tells you that it's already grinded. So it's important to notice when you're contemplating this that you note that if you have a different stat grinded, you'd have to ungrind that stat to make your grind to use a gem, because you cannot gem 2 different things on a rune. Alright, so in this one, obviously, 17 speed with plus, this is a great rune, right? I mean, wow, alright. So this one, it doesn't have speed, it does have crit rate. But you're looking at this and you're like, really? I mean, it's got flat attack, flat defense, and flat HP. I don't really want to spend a speed grindstone, as far as speed gem, on this thing. It's just not that good. Alright, so the next one down, it doesn't have speed, it does have crit rate, it has HP and defense. So it's got some defensive stats, but does have at least 1 roll into crit rate. And these stats are not the best, but they're reasonable. Okay, I could see putting it on this rune. So let's see, second off, what I have that might be better. Now most of these don't have crit damage, so let me go look and see what I have for crit damage instead. And I only have 1 rune that's crit damage, and that wasn't on there before, and this has 17 speed on it, so obviously I don't need to grind that. Alright, well, it is focus. So let's go ahead and take HP runes. Alright, I want to take a look at HP runes. And let's say HP with significant amounts of defense. A significant amount of defense means that this rune could be pretty useful as some sort of tanky rune. Alright, so, but I prefer them not to be slot 2. So the first one is a slot 2, the second one's a slot 2, and the third one's a slot 2. Huh, wow. Alright, so the fourth one though, it's got 18 flat defense, so I could grind it up to 25 with the purple rune. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. It doesn't have speed. It has 4 resist and 1 flat stat. Alright, so I can be able to roll off the flat stat. Oh! It's only plus 9. So, it's possible that this could roll speed naturally. And I haven't rolled it up yet. So, I'm going to need to roll this up if I want to be able to get this done. Well, to see if it really needs to be done on this rune. This rune is... it's alright. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, but I could see throwing a speed grindstone at it. I think I'd rather do it at the attack percent rune that I was looking at earlier, because that would have attack and pretty good crit rate and pretty decent speed. Possibly after I've used a grindstone, maybe you could have 12 speed. That's pretty nice. So it would have 10 crit rate, I think, and 12 speed with defense and HP percent. Seems like a pretty reasonable rune that you want to have on some sort of tanky monster. Well, not too tanky, but an attack type that needs to be able to take a hit or two. Not something that's in a wombo combo kind of deal, but something that's may have to take a hit in Guild Wars or maybe even in raids. In particular, a focus rune can also be valuable for other things. The Shredded Puzzle, I believe it was, recently talked about how you can use the Wind Galleon to debuff the giant and made the runs a lot more stable for him. That's kind of cool because I always like stable runs. Whenever I fail, I'm like, it was a legendary rune. You can't. It's like, dang it, I lost. Failure just sucks. I hate failures. All right, because essentially failures to me is like, they come to us as stealing little pennies out of your pocket. Okay, maybe they're like quarter pennies or something, but that's what it kind of feels like. Anyway, so stability. Okay, I could see a pair of focus runes, especially with Violet, because that means that you only need to have 1 attack percent or 1 crit damage Violet on an attacker, and that's pretty good. So I like saving runes like that for especially my other Violet runes for people who need the stats. Okay, now focus is definitely not the sexiest set. Okay, you don't really want to put it on Perna. Okay, it's not such a great Theomar set. Sure, you land your armor breaks a little bit more consistently. Perna could stun a bit more often, but when you need them, you want to be able to survive. You need that will so that they can take those initial hits if someone tries to outspeed them, and then you get to punish them because they didn't kill them. So, all right, we got 2 options so far that I've looked at. Now let's look at other ones. We got crit damage. All right, let's look at my crit damage runes. I have crit rate. Wow, there's just 1. Okay, and it's got speed already. I guess I don't need to do that. Okay. Well, obviously speed can't have a speed substat. Is there anything else I might want to put speed on? Well, let's see and say, let's look at equipped on monsters instead of anywhere. Now, these stars over here tell you that they're equipped to monsters in storage, which means they're not monsters I'm currently using. Okay, and we're going to sort by opposite way and say which ones don't have any speed at all. And out of all of these, the only one that doesn't have speed that's actually equipped on a monster. Oh, no, there's several of them. All right, so let's take a look. I see Fire Homunculus doesn't, but the Fire Homunculus also is a speed rune to start with, so you can't have a speed sub, right? As you can notice, I like to keep a lot of things in storage because I'm a bit of a pat rack and like to store runes. So nothing. All right. So there's nothing that I have equipped on a real monster that does not. That's focus that requires a speed sub. Okay. All right. So finally, I'm like, okay, let's go back, put them in, and we'll say, what's the last category that I could want for a speed sub? Well, tanky. All right, really tanky. Something, that's going to be able to survive a bunch of hits. All right, and in particular, I would probably have resistance on here too. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are main stats. I was wondering why I was doing that. So defense, HP, and resist. Alright, so boom. I have 2. One's an attack percent, and one is not. Now these rolls on these, both are attack percent. Wow. Alright, so I don't have a good rune that's, I could use, say, as an off slot that's focus in R5. Alright? Because that's what I'd be looking for here. High defense, high HP, got some resistance subs, and useful in R5. Alright, so really and truthfully what it comes down to here is this one probably is going to go on that attack speed, the attack percent slot 2 rune that I was looking at to start with. Alright, so this gives you an idea of the considerations that you have to do to go ahead and actually figure out where you want to be able to most efficiently put these gems to make them the most useful runes. Because while it's great improving the runes that are already equipped on your monsters, you're going to get new runes and you have to improve them too. Now it's possible that if I didn't have that, I might consider doing that HP one that we looked at, okay? But I might not, okay? I might hold off and say, well, a speed sub gem is pretty rare, and I might just hold on to it, okay? Same thing for crit rate or crit damage. You want to hold on to them to make the rune complete, if you will, the one that's going to have all the good stuff on it. So you're going to want to use it somewhere. All right. I guess there is one that I missed. I didn't go and take a look at defense percent type. So defense percent type, it's got pretty good crit rate, crit damage, it's got HP percent, but it is a slot 4 defense percent. Interesting. So if I did this one, it would be some sort of tanky monster, but also wanting crit rate. Monsters like Varus, or perhaps a Taoist that want a high crit rate. They want to be able to crit and then proc their extra ability. McKean, I think, is another one. I mean, that can be useful, but you're talking about very, very limited uses. And when you're talking about these limited uses cases, you probably don't want them on these off-spec runes. If you equip the rune, then I would consider that from that point of view, okay? Because it's your best rune of that type when you go through it. But not so much on ones that are sitting in your inventory. So I think I would still stick with the attack percent rune here and use it. Now, I didn't take a look at crit rate, and there's a reason for that. Because crit rate, in my opinion, if I want a crit rate rune, I want it with a high speed sub, and 12 is not high enough in my opinion. There's not that many crit rate runes actually used, and so I want them to be fast, over 16, probably more like 18. You'd like to have 20, because really and truthfully the only 2 crit rate runes that I currently use, and I have over 106 stars. Okay, the only crit rate runes I use are Galleon and Vertihil. And they need to have amazing tank subs, or they need to have very high speed, or both. Okay, it's just my opinion, but that's why I would not even bother looking at gemming up crit rate runes. Okay, grinding, sure. Okay, especially if they're already equipped, but gemming, you just don't need enough of them, and so your gemstones are going to be, I'm sorry, your gems are better off used elsewhere. Alright, so now I have a crit rate rune too that I want to take a look at. So the crit rate rune, let's go ahead, and attack percent is definitely the most one I'm going to need, so we're going to look at ones that have crit damage. So this one has crit damage and high speed. I like that. Oh wait, I have a crit rate rune, right? So high speed, crit damage, HP percent. Wow, this is like pretty amazing rune. I mean, if I get like a 7, I got the 6 or 7 crit rate roll. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Okay, I mean, it's not an incredibly high crit rate. It's not incredibly high crit damage, but it's got 17 speed plus some extra HP. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Okay, what about HP percent runes? Okay, and by the way, you can select multiple ones here if you want at the start, and it can make it easier, or it can mess you up a little bit. Sometimes if you're going to do this, you probably want to go ahead and say slot 2 or 4, 6 runes only, so that you can filter out your excess ones. Alright, so now I'm looking here that I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that meet my criteria. I got 4 of them being attack percent, HP percent runes that have some crit damage on them. Now, none of them have an amazing amount of crit damage on them. One of them has, 2 of them have really good speed. One's grinded to accuracy at the moment. Huh. Whew. So, Immensity, yeah. See, on this is going to be, I'm more concerned with a very high speed HP percent roll. Not too concerned about crit rates. I want a high crit damage, and none of them have a high crit damage. The high speed ones I'm going to be using for support monsters, so I don't necessarily want crit rate on them. I mean, it's an okay stat, but accuracy can, generally speaking, be more useful for them. So I don't want to have to bother with that. All right. And notice I don't have any defense percent runes at all that have crit damage on them. So again, you're talking about here, yeah, it's just the attack percent rune seems like the best one at the moment. Now, we still have another option to think about. And that will be, let's go back and we're going to take a look at crit damage runes. Because crit damage runes with speed, let's say. I do have a rune that is crit damage and has speed, but no crit rate on it. That's an interesting rune. So this rune has 20% defense, 12% HP, can be grinded maybe to 19. 8 speed, which is not amazing. And I can grind off the accuracy to make crit rate. Wow. So I have a tough choice here. So either I have this one or the attack percent one. So let's take a look at that again. Okay. So the attack percent rune that I was looking at for adding crit rate had 6 crit damage, HP, high speed. Wow. So a high speed slot 2 attack percent rune with crit rate and crit damage versus a crit damage rune with moderate speed and high defense percent, HP percent, which is basically equivalent of having attack. This is a choice that you have to think about. This is why the Rune Optimizer is so cool. You can see these choices. Which one is better? Which one is not better? Wow, this can get deep because honestly, even I don't know which one is necessarily better, A or B, attack percent or crit damage. This is going to depend a lot on your own individual rune depth. Do you find problems getting HP percent crit damage runes, you know? Well, HP percent is a substat, okay? With crit damage runes and speed and crit rate. Well, if you don't have very many of them, then that seems pretty good, okay? On the other hand, there's attack percent with 17% speed, 17 speed. Could be going to 18 pretty easily. Got a little bit of HP, a little bit of crit damage, and could have a little bit of crit rate. I mean, wow. Attack percent runes are, with high speed, are in demand for exactly what we were talking about in the last part. Speed Lucians. Heck, even Fire Homunculuses, and anybody else who wants to have high speed, like the case of Ethna, because Ethna needs to be able to kill a Theomars, and the problem is that Theomars, since he's a speed-based monster and Ethna is not, Ethna only needs to pack a lot of attack, which makes the rune requirements for Ethna actually harder than the rune requirements for Theomars, which is kind of funny because Ethna is supposed to be a Theomars killer. So yeah, I've had a problem with that because I've had an Ethna and she won't kill a Theomars because she goes second, so Theomars kills her first. That's kind of an issue. So you have to protect her, which means that you're spending multiple units to be able to counter one unit, and that can be a big issue depending on what the guild war you're trying to fight in is. Alright, so yeah, I think it's really going to come down to those two runes, and I'm not sure, but which one would actually be better, but I'm going to go ahead and in this case say that I want to I'll go with the higher speed. I mean, speed with a crit damage roll on it. That's pretty awesome. And HP percent is just some icing on the cake kind of deal. Yeah, I mean, I obviously can use more crit damage runes, but I guess I'm going to have to give it to that one. That's a rough decision. Well, this is the kind of idea that decisions that you can make once you can use the Rune Optimizer to give you the information that you need. Okay? Now, if you're just making a list of your stuff on your monsters, you don't even know this decision exists. Okay? So, I can say, yeah, it's important, but at some point, especially for things like rarely used top sets on the rarely used sets on the top end, like focus and guard and things like this, you need to be able to make sure that you're making those particular runes the best of their type, because they'll be useful. Okay, as broken sets, they're going to be useful. They're just not as useful as, you know, they're not need as much as force sets like Fatal, Violent, Despair, things like that. Rage, Vampire's not too used, but you get my point. Alright, so we've gone through all of that, and that was big. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a break right here, and I'll see you again in part 5 to talk about how to start building your teams up.